Right guys, welcome back to Diablo 3 on Inferno mode. Last time we beat Queen Aranea, and now we can check out the loot. We got a plan for an Exalted Sovereign Helm. Well, that one I did not know yet. Let's see what it does. Helm, Exalted Sovereign Helm. It's only item level 62, so it's not the highest tier technically. 63 is the highest. And it's got 4 attributes, which is meh. Okay, we got a belt. Okay, so this is interesting. It would increase life and protection, but I don't want it because it decreases my magic find, and I'm interested in magic find. I'll keep that one though. This one is fairly average. That's junk. And pretty much so is that. So I'll keep the belt, the 63 one. Like some high level stuff I keep just in case I ever need it for another character or I want to sell it. Even though honestly I've never sold anything on the auction house. It seems my definition of worth buying is a different one than the populace at large uses, basically. Nope, wrong panel. There we go. I can't expand it anymore, by the way. 2 panels is all you get. And the first one, initial, of course. And now, back to the chamber. Let's get the Exorcist. It's what the weapon is called. And get that woman out of there.
Thank you. Thank you. Can we please leave this horrible place?
Why, of course we can. If you open the way. Thank you.
It was terrible. I seek the coven. I'm not where you can find the stone.
So she just told us we need a certain staff.
The cultists cannot hide from us forever. We will take the battle to them.
Yeah. Oh look, it's a boss. So we basically need to get through the Khazra lands, and they will only let us through if we have a certain ritual staff, which we now need to find. And what's this? Rare gloves. Well. Again, if that were intelligence instead of dexterity, it would be quite valuable, but dexterity for a staff seems pointless. And a very bad wand. So as you see, item level is no guarantee for a good item. Now, usually, when exploring a map, especially on higher difficulties, I would advise going at it, I guess, in a more regular fashion. Okay, so something seems to have buffed them. I will assume it's that Goatman drum. Oh well, it also slowed them down. I think, or maybe that it might have been just my my arcane slowing down damage thing. But it might have been a combination. As I said, usually when exploring a map, if I want to do a full exploration, I go around, all the way around the map. That will firstly usually help me identify where the exit is, because often you're in a map because you want to then progress to the next. And it'll also give me a nice little perimeter if I need to kite anything. And then I'll just kind of spiral into the center until I've discovered everything, explored everything, whatever. And once that's done, I'll move on. Now again, I only advise that if you're going for a full exploration, if you just want to find a certain place, like me, I just want to find that staff, that means you might want to hurry and just kind of go into the center, because oftentimes these things are in similar locations, and I think the staff was usually fairly centered. Again, I might be wrong, and it's always just a chance, but yeah. As you can see from the blinking on the map.
Just over there. I never imagined such a creature.
Yeah, but what is it exactly? Extra health, nightmare, mortar, and frozen. Well, that's acceptable. Now, extra health just increases their life total, which is not that bad. Mortar, as I said, that can add quite a lot of damage, so don't stand in it.
A most thrilling battle.
Yeah, and with 5 stacks of valor, these guys can drop a fair number of rare items, which is very nice. But since this is only Act 1, the chances of getting the very high leveled stuff are not that high. So it's just average. It has too many attributes to be very outstanding, I would say. Again, this too low in terms of stats. And this, I would say, yeah, again, not astounding. So here we have these savage beasts, and the wall attribute is actually, it can be dangerous in other places, which I will come to when we get there. Basically, out here in the open, the ability to make walls is not that dangerous. Neither is the ability to explode, because you can get away. I mean, if he sets a wall right here in the middle of nowhere, I can walk around it. I lose some time, and it might be dangerous, but usually it's not. If, on the other hand, he would do that in a closed space, it might actually prevent me from kiting and force me to stay standing in some strong AoE. Okay, so that was the staff. You don't actually see it, but you get the staff from there. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And those hard-coded bosses, which are always there, like this one, he always appears when you take that staff, they do not refresh or enhance your Nephilim Valor, so they don't count towards that. Now, of course, with that staff we can pass through the Kasra barricade, which we're going to see in a moment. First, when you approach this now, there's going to be a fairly large amount of enemies, so be aware of that. Maybe get to full health, set up some defenses if you need to, turn your enemies into chicken if you need to. And also what you can do with the Hydra here is you can place it up there from down here, and you can kind of have it shoot whatever is standing up there if you like. And the pathfinding, I believe, is too simple to find to find you down here. So they try to run, but they can't find you. Most often, if you try something like this, it won't work because the enemies know how to walk around, but the distance is just too great here. These, by the way, these tripwires, they're actually traps, so trigger them and don't walk into them. And in here I usually get attacked by a few moths, but this time it was just a few more goatmen. So as you can see from that, normal enemies can drop and do drop gold items as well, or yellow items, whatever, rare items. I will refer to them as gold items just because that's the name. Well, that was the highest tier of rarity on Guild Wars, which I always enjoy playing to this day. The music still seems fairly loud, even though I've turned it down a bit, but I'm assuming by Act 4 the sound settings will be fine. Okay, so this is another open area. And these are the moths to which I was referring earlier. They kind of lie in ambush here. And now, of course, I'm looking for Leoric's Manor Courtyard, because the coven which we're trailing, as the quest indicates, they apparently live, or they are in Leoric's coven somehow. And as you can see there, that's some hidden enemies which are enchanted somehow.
Look, just over there. I never imagined such a
Okay,
picture.
they're illusionists. Now, illusionists aren't that difficult to deal with. They can just copy themselves, but the copies have low health, so they usually die fairly quickly. As you see, not much of an issue. The copies don't last very long. And that's that problem solved. And sometimes, because the enchanted guys, they have auras around them, that can help you actually find them, because some enemies, they're hiding underground, they're invisible, but the aura can sometimes be seen despite the fact that the mob itself should be invisible. So, well, I would guess. That helps. Oh, more identifying to do. Junk. This is probably going to be junk as well. Yeah. Mighty weapons. Well, it has strength and vitality, which I assume might be interesting for a barbarian. I don't know. Again, I don't have one. Well, that's junk. See, that's the problem with the random attributes. You can get some very bad combinations, I would say. Now that's interesting apart from the magic find, which it lacks. So, yeah, by bad combinations, I mean, that was a lot of critical damage increase. Still, it's not very good, all in all. The other stats are too bad. But yeah, the random stats can be a massive pain, because you could have an item that, oh, I like these two stats, but then it also increases strength, and then it's like, oh, well, maybe I don't want to use this then. And I think I can just follow the path which you see on the minimap on the upper right. In the upper right corner. I think if I follow this kind of road here, you can also see it on the screen of course, but it's clearly marked on the minimap. I think this might take me to the courtyard manor, manor courtyard, which is where I'm supposed to go. Indeed it is.
These ruins seem beautiful. Something horrid lies beneath them.
Now I believe in this courtyard there's also always a champion group of sorts, either a boss or a elite group. At least I've never seen, yeah, there you go, a boss group. But we have Vampiric and Knockback on the minions, and the boss also has Waller and Desecrator. Now that's actually a possibly dangerous combo, because Desecrator means he can curse the ground which you stand on and make it hurt you. And Waller, as you saw, it can prevent you from moving. Well, it can wall you in. So, potentially a dangerous combination. But again, it nicely refreshed my stacks. And these guys can just, well, die. I still have this habit of picking up health globes, even though I don't need to. I guess you're gonna have to accept that. He's doing some random ritual. Now we're gonna see a lot more of those soon.
Grave awaits.
Basically, they're standing there and tapping their staff on the ground, and if you let them do that tapping for long enough, they will turn into demons which have higher damage than the cultists themselves. So it is advisable to kill them. Oh, finally! Leoric's Shinbone. Well, that's terrible timing. This is one of the items you need to get to the pony level. And yeah, I don't have many of them yet. So what do we have here? Pants. No, bad. What did I just do? Oh, I see. I got a bit confused there. Again, not great, and this is probably going to be fairly average as well. Actually, this is not that bad. It's only item level 62, so it's not quite perfect, but as you see, a lot of vitality, a lot of intelligence, and a decent damage as well. So I'll keep this for another character, maybe. Yeah, I'm only keeping stuff that has a fairly high DPS. This is actually the highest DPS weapon I ever found in this game. Again, I have no idea if it's valuable, but probably not. In fact. But yeah, it's the best I've found so far. And we are almost at 1.5 million. So definitely approaching the amount of money needed to actually get to the pony level. Again, I've got no direct plans to show that in this playthrough, but maybe if I get the item I might as well. I don't know. It depends on my mood, really. Okay, there's usually just random cultists in here, nothing dangerous. Here there's a boss group. It's not always there, but I've seen it happen occasionally now, so it's definitely a decent chance that there is a boss group. And even if the boss is dead, you have to avoid these swirling spirals of death, because they still deal high damage.
She's unstoppable! No mortal could slaughter our brethren with such ease!
They're talking about me, by the way.
Well, Lord Belial will reward your sacrifice.
She is here!
I believe it is time to kill more cultists.
Delay her while I prepare her demise in the depths below.
It's not gonna work out for both of us. I didn't say either of us, I said both of us. Please mark the difference.
They have paid.
Yes.
I will kill Magda. She is as heartless as those she serves.
So again, Magda ran away. Meh. We'll get her, eventually. Again, fairly bad crossbow. It's two-handed as well, so... Now, I think the highest DPS I saw on one-handed weapons in the auction house was about 1,500, so... I can still improve my own weapon a bit, but... means that a 700 DPS two-handed weapon is obviously not going to cut it. In terms of being valuable. And now we have this slightly morbid setting. Now, on the one hand, people complain about this game being too bright and cheerful and too comic-y, which I don't mind the graphic style of this game, but then I haven't played the first one, so I guess you might expect something a little more darker after those, but meh. But then also, people are saying that this game is totally as dark as the ones before, and they're always quoting this particular level. At least mostly. And again, I think that's slightly unfair. I mean, there are some gloomy levels in this game, but there's also some fairly bright ones, so... Okay, we have some large-ish blades, and a boss which can copy himself. And there you saw, I can't fully afford to just stand there and take it, even on this level. then we have some slight lag, but nothing too bad. Let me just shut down this trap, and I'll walk through here. You see, I turned the effects down, and this still sounds very loud. So I'll try to get away soonish. Okay.
Bring her to me that I may rend the flesh.
Again, here you might have been able to see for a very short duration of time that first boss I killed was not a real boss. Well, it was a real boss, but it was its name was purple and not yellow, and that usually indicates that it's not a randomly generated boss, but a hard-coded one. I always like to call them hard-coded for some reason. And these don't refresh your valor. Of course, what fought me afterwards was a proper boss. Well, a proper elite group. That must have been quite the sight. Okay, this is junk. You see 200 intelligence on a two-handed bow. That just seems pointless. Well, I do like movement speed, but again, that's not very high. I don't know which doctors. I don't know if 138 mana is much, 14 mana regeneration, I don't know. It's got a high item level, so it might be good, but it's not like it matters that much. And I can see the exit on the map already, which is nice. I don't want to spend too much time down here, basically. So, yeah. Basically about the gloominess of the level. It's undeniable that this level, or this game, is a bit brighter than the two before. I've not played them, but I've seen videos, so that's where I get that info from. And the mood is also a little more cheerful because they've included a few more jokes, I would say. But that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Different, slightly, but at least for me, I think it works. To me, the game has a sound concept. And I don't know, I would say it's a little unfair to judge a game by its predecessors only. And I guess in a way, I'm not that huge a fan of this game either. I like it, but it's not quite the revelation that I guess Diablo 2 was at the time. At Diablo 1, they were more important games in that they advanced the genre more, I would say. But that doesn't necessarily mean that this is a bad game or that you should downrate this. Now, what is unforgivable, of course, is forcing players to be online and then not having proper servers. That was not very smart of them. Let me just put it like that. But it seems like now, with well, it being long after release and fewer people playing, I would think that. Is anything still on? No, it's not. Yeah, I'm thinking these servers are now equipped to handle the load. There might be some issues again when they release it for Xbox and PS3, assuming they're doing it on the same kind of server network. I don't know. Or maybe they learned from their mistakes. Now what they should do really is just okay, this is the queen.
I am a Scylla now.
She was the wife of Leoric, but he killed her because he was paranoid. And now she wants us to help her enslave slaves, servants, whatever. Basically, they were killed in here, tortured to death, most likely, and she's not happy about it, they're not happy about it. They can't leave, because they were turned into ghosts somehow, because it was also unfair. Point is, we have to set their bones to rest so the ghosts can leave, and she's gonna help us. And I think on normal, this is the first place I died. because there was a nasty group of, well, elite mobs.
Look, just over there. I never imagined
Plagued, Jailer, Teleporter, and Shielding. Now, Plagued is similar, slightly similar to the Burning, the Molten attribute, whereby they can sometimes leave, I don't know, poisonous puddles on the ground. Probably don't want to know how they produce puddles, but they do. Anyway, that makes them poisonous. Again, this is fairly easy to avoid, so nothing to worry about.
The gods have seen fit to release me from this torment.
Well, I'm not quite a god yet, but I'll take it. Yeah, you have to slightly watch out with these guys. They explode after death, and that can be painful. Yeah, many of the tips I give, well, not slightly, they heavily depend on the kind of equipment you're having. But I'm guessing if you have very good equipment,
You dare attack me?
you're probably not going to be that interested in watching this for the advice I give, so... Yeah, if your equipment's good enough, you can afford to just basically blaze through this game without much concern. Without a care in the world. You should also clear the center here for the upcoming boss fight. Now there will be more mobs spawning when the boss fight actually occurs, but you can just in case there's anything there, you can clear it beforehand.
If only they could see me now.
Okay, what do we have here? They can set up walls, they have damage reflect and molten. That's not very nice. Especially trying to blow me up is not very nice. Yeah, on higher on higher acts, that particular combination would have caused more trouble. Because as you saw, I was trapped at some point and I couldn't get out, and
Thank the gods.
that could have easily killed me, basically. Now, luckily I had a healing potion ready and I had my diamond skin, so
Thank the gods.
wasn't really that bad.
There is someone amongst us. Deal with her harshly.
There is very often a treasure
My
goblin in
bags
this
are full.
particular level, but I haven't found one yet. It might be I'm missing him because I'm not exploring everything, so... Again, this is not a farming run, it's a kind of showing the game on Inferno run. So you can go here. All this can go in there, and the rest is probably most likely for sale. Yep. Probably for sale.
This is not a time for mourning. This is a time to dry our tears and draw our weapons. There can be no pity for the pitiless, save redemption for those that seek it.
Yep. 1.5 million. This is the most money I've ever had. Mostly because I haven't bought anything in a while. So, it's not saying much.
I am free.
And I've never been much of a power trader or money acquiring kind of guy. When I get money in a game, I usually try to spend it anyway. It seems to me to be the point of a game.
Freedom after so long.
Thank you, champion. My servants are now free, but the curse over this place remains. Seek the warden at the dungeon center and end his evil forever.
I'll just run around this corner to see if I can find a treasure goblin. If I can, doesn't matter. He might have gotten away, but... Nope. You would usually see if one got away. But I guess what I can do, because I'm at half an hour now, I'll make a cut and we'll see the boss fight next time. So until then, have fun.